Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is lots to negotiate about. There is huge developments on Angel Gomes. I'm going to be giving you an update on. Also going to be talking with you a bit more about Pogba. I'm going to be talking with you a bit more about Ole Gunnar Solsjaker. So the first topic of the development I am going to start with is Angel Gomes. So according to recent reports, Manchester United have reopened negotiations over, getting Angel Gomes a new contract at the football club. Now, reportedly, Manchester United have offered Angel Gomes a new contract worth in the region of around £30,000 a week. So basically, we have increased our offer because our previous offer was around £25,000 a week. And plus, in this new offer, we have put an option of a third year in. So we've offered him 30 grand a week plus a 2-year deal with an option of a third year. Because obviously, Solskjaer does believe that Angel Gomes' future does lie with the football club. Yes, it does. And the main explanation why Angel Gomes has seldom played this season for Manchester United is, because there's been uncertainty over his future. You have seen the likes of Chong, Mason Greenwood, Brandon Williams and all of that get more minutes under their belt than Angel Gomes, sorry. Angel Gomes up until this point has spent the entirety of his career with Manchester United. He's been a United player since the age of 8 and he has been in our senior squad since like 2017. Angel Gomes became the youngest player to represent Manchester United since Duncan Edwards back in 1950. And also too became the first player born in the 2000s to make a Premier League appearance. Yes, to make a Premier League appearance. Angel Gomes' current contract term ends, I think, in around 3 months' time. Chelsea have expressed their interest in Angel Gomes. I think also said the other week that Barcelona had expressed their interest. Chelsea, of course, have got a lot of good young players, so they're looking to probably, recruit a few more youngsters. They've got likes of Billy Gilmore, that's been a revelation for them. They've obviously got Tammy Abraham. They've also got Callum Hudson-Odoi. So Chelsea have got quite a few good young players. But yeah, I think Angel Gomes will be staying at Manchester United because the club will sort him a contract out. So yeah, we've been in negotiations for the last fortnight. So yeah. So whether Angel Gomes accepts his contract or not, I do not know because he wasn't happy with the previous offer. He's basically looking to go to a bigger club as Angel Gomes, like he recently revealed. But I do believe he can still become an integral part of our team when he does get more opportunities. So yeah, so that's the latest news on him, and he's only at the age of 19. Is Angel Gomes, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. So yeah, so looking like Man United are going to be working on extending his contract. But obviously, Man United, have extended quite a lot of players' contracts, and that is actually positive. Obviously, we saw Chong the other week. He signed the 2-year deal with an option of a further year. Chon's also seldom played, but like I mentioned, he's played more than Angel Gomes. He seldom played as Chon, and like I mentioned, we got him from Feyenoord back in 2016. This is now his 4th season at Manchester United. But we got give him a 2-year contract with an option of a further year, so we know he's committed his future with the football club. Also too, we saw Nemanja Matic the other week. He got his 1 year. He got his contract triggered by another year because there was an option to trigger. There was an option to trigger his contracts by a further year, and this is what Manchester United did. The main explanation why we triggered that 1-year extension on Matic's contract is reflecting on his good run of performances. So he also got a new contract. Also too, we saw Victor Lindelof earlier on in the season. He signed a new long-term contract with Manchester United, and I've got to say, Lindelof's done really, really well. So he did deserve to sign that new contract because I think he's done really, really well alongside Maguire in our back line as Victor Lindelof. This is now his 3rd season at Manchester United. Man United did pay £30 million in from Benfica. Enjoyed a difficult first season, but I think last season, this season, a lot of aspects of his game have really, really improved. I think quite a few years ago now, we also give Luke Shaw a new 5-year deal. I think it was a 5-year deal, or was it a 5.5-year deal? Obviously, Luke Shaw's endured some bad spells as a Man United player. Also, he has received a lot of criticism with his poor run of form and his injuries. But, he was injured early on in the season. But since he's come back, because he was out for around 2 months, but since he's come back, he has done really, really well as Luke Shaw. By the way, also too, Manchester United last year give Marcus Rashford a new long-term contract. Rashford signed a 4-year deal with an option of a further year worth around £200,000 a week. So actually, Rashford is one of the highest paid players at Manchester United. Obviously, Rashford was very, very good earlier on in the season for the club. He was very, very good earlier on in the season. But obviously, he's been out of a back injury for a while. I think he's expected back when the season does resume, Marcus Rashford. But, like I said, up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Manchester United. We also saw last year, Juan Mata, he also got his contract extended. I think he signed a 2-year contract with an option of a further year. I'm actually, very, very delighted that Man United did, give Juan Mata a new contract. Because at one point, it was looking very imminent that he was going to leave. But, I think he's still an essential player. I know he doesn't get in the team a lot now, and he has lost that yard of pace, and he is aging up, but I've got to be honest, I think Juan Mata is a very, very good backup to Bruno Fernandes, and Juan Mata now is into his 6th season at the club. Obviously Man United got him from Chelsea for around £40 million back in 2014. But obviously, when he was younger, he spent, his career in Spain with Valencia, where he played under Emery's guidance. Obviously, began his career with Real Madrid. So, yeah. Also, too, last year, we give David De Gea a new long-term contract at the club. He signed a 4-year contract with an option of a further year worth around £375,000 a week. So we also too got him a new contract. So yeah, we have, there might be a few other players as well I haven't mentioned. So, we have extended a lot of players' contracts in recent years. Martial as well, he's another one last year. He signed a 5-year deal with Manchester United. Of course, Anthony Martial is into his 5th season now as a Manchester United player. Gotta say, I think, he's endured some difficult spells as a Manchester United player, as Anthony Martial. But I think he's recently rejuvenated himself. Obviously, this season, Martial has been playing in that number 9 role, even though he predominantly plays out on the left. I think in the 4 previous seasons, Martial's been playing on the left-hand side. But, like I mentioned, maybe we should revert him back to the left-hand side. So that's obviously, very, very good news. So yeah, revert back to what I said. That's the latest news on Angel Gomes. Looking like the Man United are going to sort him a new contract out. And, like I mentioned, he's only played around, 6 times this season. He's only played 10 times for the first team as Angel Gomes. But obviously, 6 of those games he has played this season. I think he tends to play more in the Europa League, does Angel Gomes. But I did say, didn't I, when Solsjaker going to be convinced to give Angel Gomes more opportunities. So yeah, so that's the latest news on him. Also too, I want to give you the latest news now on Paul Pogba. Now, we're looking, to extend Paul Pogba's contract at the football club, because I actually now do believe that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United. And I think the main explanations for this is due to the coronavirus pandemic, and also too, we actually are sceptical that Real Madrid and Juventus can actually, finalise a deal for Paul Pogba. They may have insufficient funds, and like I said, a lot of teams are under financial pressure across the world because obviously, this coronavirus. Because, we would want at least £100 million for Paul Pogba this summer. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's got 2 years left on his contract. Well, it's 1 year with an option of a further year. But like I mentioned, it's very, very likely that Man United will trigger that 1 year extension on Paul Pogba's contract and that. Obviously, I think Ed Woodward has been in negotiations with Paul Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, obviously to try and resolve Paul Pogba's future at the football club. Also, too, his agent, Mini Raiola, has, been talking a lot since the turn of the year. Don't forget, near the beginning of the year, he obviously was coming out saying that Paul Pogba is not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's property. He also basically said, that, he told Gary Neville to go screw himself, and Gary Neville reacted to that and called him a leech. The other week, he was basically saying that he wants to take a great footballer to Real Madrid, and he's made a number of public attacks against the club since the turn of the year. So Mini Raiola has been, criticised for this. But like I mentioned, since Paul Pogba rejoined Manchester United from Juventus back in 2016, he has had a long-running transfer saga, and we need to end this long-running transfer saga, and we need to try and resolve his future. And I think, obviously, this year, subject to a lot of transfer speculation. Last summer, subject to a lot of transfer speculation. Don't forget, last summer, Pogba revealed that he wanted to leave the football club because he said he was seeking for a new challenge, and publicly admitted that he wanted to leave Manchester United. His preference last summer was actually a move to Real Madrid, but his move to Real Madrid didn't materialise because, we demanded around £180 million. So the figure we said we wanted now is totally comparison to the one last summer. So basically, last summer we wanted more than double than what we paid for him from Juventus, because we paid £89 million for him from Juventus and that. I think he told his teammates not too long ago, that he wants to leave Manchester United, does Pogba. Also endured a very, very difficult time under Jose Mourinho, and I think if Jose Mourinho would have still been here now, I think probably Pogba would have been gone, Martial, Luke Shaw and that, because, Solskjaer had Jose Mourinho had bad disputes with our top players. Had bad disputes, with our top players and that. But there's been a few clubs in for him. I think, if he does leave and he doesn't go to Real Madrid, I think he'll probably make a return back to Turin, because Pogba did endure 4 good years in Turin. But since he rejoined us, the vast majority of his performances have been totally comparison. Don't forget, PSG and Barcelona have also been in for him in the past. So put that into the equation. When the season does resume, by the way, Pogba is likely to play. And I think, like I mentioned, the season's going to resume from the 1st of June, and it should be completed within 6 weeks. So obviously, so next season can start on time. So I do believe there'll be like 2 or 3 games a week, and there's been rumours saying these games will be played behind closed doors. But as you all know, at the moment, the Premier League is suspended until April the 30th. But yeah, like it revealed the other week, that Paul Pogba was back in training, and he'd had some personal coaching with Michael Carrick. So this is what it basically said. So basically, we just need to resolve Paul Pogba's future. Obviously, Paul Pogba is on a substantial amount of the club. He's on around, £290,000 or £300,000 a week. So he is one of the highest paid players. Pogba's only played 8 times this season for Manchester United. The last game he played was the 4-1 win against Newcastle, and the last time he started from the start was back in September. So he's sustained quite a few injuries as a Man United player. Don't forget, we had Pogba when he was younger under Ferguson, but due to limited appearances, we ended up, we had to end up, letting him go on a 3 transfer and that. So yeah, so hopefully, we can extend Paul Pogba's contract. So that's the latest news on Angel Gomes, and that's the latest news on Paul Pogba. But yeah, so now we'll delve into the news on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I think I mentioned this on my recent videos, and I've mentioned it on a few of my other videos. There's still reports saying that if Manchester United fail to get qualification for the Champions League, that Solskjaer could be axed at the end of the season by Ed Woodward, because we do know that's our ambition, is getting Champions League qualification secured for next season. And plus, if we do get Champions League, with more chance of getting the right calibre players into the football club. Also too, it'd be nice for us to win the Europa League, because that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board. Plus, it's another route to Champions League qualification, and it'd be nice for us to win the FA Cup. And we have won them trophies. We've won the FA Cup 12 times. We're second most successful team in FA Cup history, just behind Arsenal. Last time we won the FA Cup was back in 2015 under the Louis van Gaal era. 2016 under the Van Gaal era. And we won the Europa League under the Jose Mourinho era. So we can definitely replicate that again. So can basically, Solskjaer this season replicate what Jose Mourinho did in his first season by, winning 2 trophies in. We shall see what happens. But I think it's more than likely that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be Manchester United manager next season. He'll be Manchester United manager next season. If Solskjaer was to be sacked by Manchester United, I think either Mauricio Pochettino or Massimiliano Allegri would come in to replace him. Pochettino's obviously been relentlessly linked with the managerial role at Manchester United this season. Don't forget he's held some negotiations with the football club, because Mauricio Pochettino did reveal that he does want an immediate return to management, and he said this following his sacking from Tottenham last year, and he also said it not too long ago. But there hasn't only been Manchester United in for Mauricio Pochettino. Real Madrid have been relentlessly linked with him. Barcelona went in for him, when they did sack Ernesto Valverde. Obviously, Bayern Munich went in for him at one point. So a few clubs have been tracking Mauricio Pochettino. But I think Pochettino did say earlier on in the season he still wants to remain in England. He still wants to continue his managerial career in England, because he's well proven in the Premier League as Mauricio Pochettino. He did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. I think Tottenham personally made a mistake by getting rid of Pochettino, because Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. They were competing in and out of the top four, for the vast majority of Pochettino's tenure. But then delve into the last couple of years of his tenure, Tottenham did become title contenders. So Tottenham did make a mistake by getting rid of him. Don't forget, he progressed Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final last season. But even if Man United were to recommend Pochettino in, it wouldn't be until the end of the season, so we could avoid paying compensation. When Pochettino goes to his next when he goes to his next club, that will be the fourth club he will be managing in his managerial career, because so far he has managed 3 clubs. That's Espanyol, where he began his managerial career. Southampton, don't forget, had a short tenure with Southampton, but guided them to their highest ever finish. And also to endured 5.5 years with Tottenham did Pochettino. But like I said, he's a very, very good manager, and I think Man United made the mistake by not recommending Pochettino in after the sacking of Jose Mourinho, because at one point he was our primary candidate, and it was looking likely he was going to be coming in. But instead we went with Solskjaer, and the main explanations why our preference was Solskjaer is because Solskjaer was a cheaper solution. We paid, was it around £1 or £2 million to get him in as the interim manager. Obviously did really, really well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, so then that was enough to give him the job permanently. Then I think we paid around 7 or 8 million to get him in on a permanent basis. And plus Solskjaer knows the culture of the club, because he was a great player for us for 11 years. And obviously, Solskjaer knows a hell of a lot more about the club than Mauricio Pochettino. But if Solskjaer's sacked, it's likely Pochettino will come in. Massimiliano Allegri, there has been quite a few narratives in the mainstream media throughout the course of this season of him possibly, becoming Manchester United's next manager. Now, Massimiliano Allegri is totally comparison to Pochettino, because obviously Massimiliano Allegri has never managed in the Premier League, and it said earlier on in the season Massimiliano Allegri was learning English in preparation for his potential move. He's been linked to a few managerial roles as Massimiliano Allegri. He spent the entirety of his managerial career in Italy. Allegri did resign as Juventus manager at last summer after he endured 5 years with Juventus and won 5 Serie A's and 4 Coppa Italians and that. So he's been another manager on Manchester United's agenda. But revert back to what I said, I think, Manchester United will stick with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for next season. If it doesn't work out next season, then I think he will leave the football club, Solskjaer. He will end up getting sacked. He won't resign, Solskjaer. That's one thing he will not do, because then obviously he wouldn't get a payoff. But if we sack him, I think, wouldn't he be entitled to like £5 million in compensation? Obviously, Man United did pay, was it around £20 million? I think we give Jose Mourinho like a £20 million payoff to get rid of him. Like I mentioned, Mourinho endured 2.5 years at Manchester United, and the main explanations why it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players. The board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in the summer of 2018. So this is why it didn't work out under Mourinho, but he did win 2 trophies in his first season. But analysing it, the vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's, so take that into account. I think we paid Louis van Gaal, didn't we pay him around, was it around 14 or 15 million pounds to get rid of Louis van Gaal? I think he lasted like just over a year at the football club, did Van Gaal. And obviously I think we paid around, was it 8 or 9 million pounds to get rid of David Moyes. And Solsjaker has got 2 years left on his current contract at the club. But Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. But Manchester United haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers, even though we've already sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. So let's just put that into the equation. Put that into the equation now. As you all know, tomorrow it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 1 year anniversary of being Manchester United's manager permanently. Because obviously, as you all know, on the 28th of March last year, Solskjaer was appointed Manchester United manager on a permanent basis. Obviously, it was that actual win against PSG in the Champions League last season that got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job. And that was one of his most iconic moments as manager. If you do remember rightly, Man United were 2-0 down from the first leg. And obviously, we overcome a 2-goal deficit and won 3-1 at Paris Saint-Germain. And that was an absolutely fantastic win for Manchester United. But overall, including when he was the interim manager, Solskjaer has been here now for around 15 months. But I do believe he does deserve more time at the football club. And like Solskjaer was recently talking about, how he's changed Manchester United, since replacing Jose Mourinho. And I've got to say, I think quite a lot of things have changed since Solskjaer's come in. Obviously, he's changed the tactics, the players, the personnel. He seems to have galvanised the team. And Solskjaer's record is worse than David Moyes. Because since Solskjaer got the job permanently, let's be honest, his record is disastrous. But got to say, Manchester United have really, really turned the corner, because we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. And this is our best vein of form since Solskjaer was the interim manager in that. And obviously, I think there's a few things I've got to credit Solskjaer for. One of the things I credit him for, I think his approach. I think Solskjaer's approach to the big games has been very, very good, because he showed tactical flexibility. He's had a plan A and he's had a plan B. The only element of concern is, we haven't really replicated this against lower opposition. That's my element of concern. That's my element of concern. And my own perception is that I think we look very expansive with that 3-5-2 formation. We look much better with 3 at the back. On a regular basis this season, Solskjaer's gone with that 4-2-3-1 formation. But from my own perception, I don't think that 4-2-3-1 formation suits our standards. I think occasionally he's gone with a 4-3-3. I think when Solskjaer was the interim manager, he went with a 4-3-3 formation a lot. So when he was the interim manager, he went with a 4-3-3 a lot. But we haven't been too good against lower opposition. That is my element of concern. But, we've had some good results under Solskjaer. We've had some big wins as well. We had a big win against Lask. The last time Man United played, won by 5-0. So we're in the last 8 of the Europa League. We've beaten, Chelsea 4-0 on the opening day of the season. We've beaten Newcastle 4-1 on Boxing Day. We're beating Tranmere 6-0 in the FA Cup. Just going through the big wins that I can recall Man United having under Solskjaer. Also to beating Cardiff 5-1 last season. Obviously, that was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game as Manchester United manager. Obviously, Solskjaer was at Cardiff. That's where he began his managerial career, wasn't it? His record, though, at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. He only had a short tenure with Cardiff. I think he only managed around 28 or 29 games. But the main explanation why he got sacked from Cardiff is because, he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. But yeah, we've actually had some really, really good results under Solskjaer. So these are the things I credit him for. Another thing I credit him for, he has got a lot of trustworthy in his young players. Like I mentioned, the young players have been given their opportunities this season. So I've also got to credit him for that. And when he first came in anyway, he did say, the players would get the chances to express themselves. My element of concern about Solskjaer is that he's inexperienced as a manager, but the longer he remains in the Man United job, he's gaining more experience, which is very, very good to see. Obviously, Man United have enjoyed the worst start ever to a Premier League season, so that's obviously very, very bad. I think he has been tactically naive for the vast majority of this season, which is also bad. And still, some people are very, very sceptical that he is the long-term solution for Manchester United. But time will tell. It's a transition period. And like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. Now, I don't think Solskjaer will emulate into the next Ferguson, but I don't think any manager would invoke Ferguson's legacy at the club. Ferguson came in from Aberdeen in 1984, didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. Basically, our boards and that were talking about sacking Ferguson at that time, but he did get the time, and after that 4 years without winning anything, look what he went and accomplished. It was unbelievable, and the vast majority of our silverware we won came under Alex Ferguson, so let's just put that into the equation. But he won't be the next Ferguson. Some people believe if he's given the right amount of time, he can be the next Jurgen Klopp. Can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I don't know, because Klopp didn't settle in either straight away at Liverpool, so not every man does settle in straight away. But time will tell anyway with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, definitely. And hopefully, when he does eventually leave in the future, because he's planned his future with the club like I mentioned today, but when he does leave in the future, hopefully Solskjaer can leave a better squad behind, than the one he inherited. I've also got to credit Solskjaer for the players he has recommended in so far. Obviously, he spent around 220 million on them. He brought Daniel James in Bissaka, Maguire, Bruno Fernandes and Odion Ighalo. Also, a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival. I think a total of around 9 players have left since his arrival. Obviously, some are out on loan. Obviously, some have gone on permanent transfers. Obviously, went through with you earlier on. I think the players that are going to go in the summer. I think Jones will go in the summer. I think Lingard will go. I think Andres Pereira will go. I think we'll negotiate on getting rid of Rojo on a permanent transfer. I think we'll also negotiate on getting rid of Sanchez on a permanent transfer. Possibly Fosu Mensah could be moved on. Possibly we'll negotiate on getting rid of Smalling on a permanent basis. Still a possibility chance that Smalling could come back to Manchester United. But I think we'll get probably rid of around maybe 5, 6, maybe even 7 players in the summer. There's still a possibility chance that David De Gea could leave, because obviously Dean Henson is out on loan at Sheffield United at the moment, and he's done really, really well, and people believe now he's good enough to become our number 1 goalkeeper is Dean Henderson. And David De Gea then will obviously lose his place in the team if Dean Henderson becomes our number 1 goalkeeper. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And obviously, we've got a lot of players on our agenda for the summer, as I went through with you earlier on. The likes of Jadon Sancho, Jude Bellingham, Jack Grealish. They're all on our agenda and that. But Solskjaer believes Man United need around 3 signings in the summer to become title contenders. And we've got to get the right players in. But Man United are going to spend a substantial amount in the summer transfer window and that. But yeah, so that's mainly everything to update you with today. So that's basically, the news on Gomes. Also, the news on Pogba and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.